Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. Auld Lang Syne is one of those holiday favorites. Usually we sing it around New Year's, although in Great Britain it's a Christmas standard as well. It can be harmonized with the three primary chords, 1, 4, and 5, or you can use all 12. We're going to take a look today at how to reharmonize this chestnut. Okay, follow along with me. I've got it up on the screen and I've color coded this easy primary chord arrangement. You can follow the chords up at the top of the screen. Here we go. The melody's in green. The chords are blocked out in blue. Very simple block chords. Begins with the 5 chord and then the 1. So far, just 1 and 5, and now the 4 chord. Back to 1, 5, 4, 5, 1. No problem. Back to the 1 chord. Of course, you all know this melody. Here's the 4 chord. It's a really important way station harmonically. Back to 1. Well, if you were just a guitarist strumming that song and playing it for your friend on New Year's Eve, you could get away with just those 3 chords. You might turn the 5 chord D into a dominant chord, into a D7 sometimes, but basically you'd be good to go. Well, it's not the only way to roll on arranging this. The melody itself has very strong, how to put this, I guess I would say signposts. The melody tells us almost what chords will go with it, but there's a lot of flexibility. Let's listen and then we'll break down this second harmonization. It uses the same signposts, the dominant, the subdominant, and the tonic chords, but there's a lot of circular motion along the way. You might have recognized a couple of the simple techniques I used. One of them is very few simple plain major chords. Major chords could be major 7s or major 6s. I also was freely using the dominant chord, the D7, instead of the D. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring the chart that I wrote up just for a visual aid for us in here. And we're just going to kind of talk it through as we go. Hopefully we can see both of these at the same time. We'll see how this goes. Walking down to E minor, a 2-5, and then B7 to E minor. G7 pushes to C, the whole thing starts again. G walks down to E minor, 2-5, passing chord, this diminished chord, C over E, D9 over F sharp, G sus. Here it is again, G walking down to E minor, a 2-5. Replacing 2 5s instead of a regular 5 is pretty powerful. I love this D7, D flat 7, flat 9. Walking down again. Circle of fifths, home again. Now I know I don't like to show notation too much, but every so often it's useful to look at the chords written out. And if you read any melody at all, that would be great. But I've written the lyrics underneath it. Now, just taking a look at it sentence by sentence, D7 takes us to G. Walking down to E minor. Now, if this was a very simple harmonization, the next chord would be D. But instead, I'm doing A minor 7, which is the 2 chord, and it's a fifth away from D. Now, instead of going back to G, I'm going to go to the relative minor, E minor. You can see it coming right here. E minor is prepared with B7. G7 prepares C. That melody note on top is E. I'm going to make that D9. G, we're walking down. This D7 here on B forgot precedes a diminished chord. So pretty. C over E, D9 over F sharp. And here's a G sus. Basically, I'm playing an F chord over a G bass. Pretty, right? Back again to that thing that I was doing with the walk. 2, 5, 1. Walking up this time, and I love this dominant chord. Now, right here, I have a string of things going on that maybe are a little bit complicated. G, A7 sus, so essentially that's just the G chord over an A in the bass. B minor 7, right? G with G in the bass, G with A in the bass, B minor 7, and then this dominant flat 9 chord, D flat 7, flat 9. It actually acts like a tritone substitution to G7. It is a tritone substitution to G7. It's a dominant chord to C, and then D flat diminished on wheel. Well, just another passing diminished chord. Walking down. Here's a half diminished F sharp. It's around the circle of fifths to take us home. Listen to that again. Kindness yet. Auld Lang Syne is a classic New Year's tune. We play it, at stroke of midnight every year. And it's great to be able to do your version of it. It's something every musician should have in their pocket. But it's also a great teaching tune as well. It's one of those old songs that you can harmonize with primary chords, but you can also embellish and make your own in a lot of different ways. I'd love to hear an arrangement that you come up with. But what I've done here is by far not the only solution, right? Yeah, any melodic tone could be the root, third, fifth, minor or major third, seventh, minor or major seventh, ninth, flat ninth, 11th, sharp 11th, 13th of any chord. Chords don't have to be built in thirds. There are lots of possibilities, obviously. What I've just done is a functional harmony reharmonization. There's lots of possibilities. I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.